Hi, I'm Danielle. Welcome to my perfume journal. Every week I make a shortish kind of video about the perfumes I wore over the course of the week, and then I reset my tray for the upcoming week. It's a little habit I started so that I can shop my own collection every weekend and really enjoy all of the perfumes that I have. So this is what my perfume tray looked like at the beginning of the week. And this is what it looked like at the end of the week. I wore just about everything on my tray and a few others too. I have really been feeling my Shalimar l'Essence this week. I wore it almost every single night to bed, and I fell asleep in a cocoon of that gorgeous Guerlain vanilla and powdery tonka. I was also reaching for Mon Guerlain quite a bit this week, and I was telling the wonderful Karen from New Day New Scent that I think I am falling in love with lavender vanillas lately. I also wore Oscar from Oscar de la Renta this week on a day when I was feeling like a good vintagey powdery floral. And it's always interesting to put on a perfume that you have a really strong olfactory memory of from years gone by. So Oscar smells exactly as I remember it, and yet not. It's kind of hard to explain. It's really odd to smell a perfume from decades past through a nose that has evolved with perfumery and perfume interests over time, if that makes any sense at all. It's kind of like putting on an outfit that you wore in your younger years, but you're putting it on your current older body, or like reading a book that you loved in your youth, but reading it through the lens of the experience and the wisdom you've gained over the years. It's like familiar, but different somehow. And I think that's actually one of the things that I love the most about keeping perfumes around that I have loved and worn for many, many years, like this beautiful vintagey powdery floral. I also pulled Incarnata by Anatole Le Breton onto the tray again this week because I am just loving this perfume that smells like an old-fashioned tube of Avon lipstick that morphs into big red chewing gum. It is so good. And then the last perfume I wore that wasn't originally on my tray that I want to talk about is Anna Sui from Anna Sui. So the wonderful Staci sent this to me because she wasn't reaching for it, and she knew that I was enjoying lipsticky scents lately. So thank you so, so much for this, Staci. So this perfume is so much fun. I totally love it. It's in the vein of something along the lines of Stella Pop, but fruitier. So it's like that plasticky doll head scent with some raspberry, rose, iris, and tonka that gives it a little lipstickiness and some powdery fruitiness. And it reminds me of those pretend plastic makeup kits that you would have as a kid for imaginative play. So if those toys came scented, this is what they should have smelled like. Okay, so those were my highlights from last week, and I have reset my tray for the upcoming week. So Mon Guerlain is going back on the tray this week because I am so into the lavender vanilla combo lately. So again, there is definitely a chill in the air. The leaves are starting to fall and pile up all over the ground. So that can only mean one thing. It is stash time. And if you've been watching my videos, you probably already know that Stash is one of the perfumes that is in my top 10 for life. It's a perfume I never ever want to be without, so I should probably just get a backup of it already, and hopefully the next time I get one, it will have a cap. Stash is a little bit polarizing. It can be one of those love it or don't love it kind of scents. It is super spicy, super duper woody, and very, very aromatic. I wore this once and someone came into the room where I was and said it smelled really good in the room, but it smelled like burning wood, like a bonfire. Now, this doesn't smell like Margiela's by the fireplace. To me, that has more of a marshmallowy burning wood kind of scent, where Stash doesn't have any sweetness to it at all. But I can definitely see how the sillage of Stash would smell a little bit like a bonfire. To me, it's like someone poured a classic fougere over a pile of wood to start a bonfire. So this might not be a perfume for everyone, and I would not call this a safe blind buy. I am also going to go for some Halston this week. I was thinking that because I store a lot of my actual vintage perfumes and vintage reformulation bottles in a drawer, I don't often reach for them as much as I do the perfumes that are in my cabinet right in front of my face. So every week, or maybe every other week, I'm going to try to put one of my vintage treasures or reformulated vintages on my tray so that I do not neglect them. And Halston, to me, is one of the best vintage perfumes of all time. This one is a reformulation, this bottle, so it doesn't quite scratch the itch that the original does for me. But since an intact vintage is a risky purchase without smelling it first, I'm sticking with this current bottle. So I'm not like throwing money out of the window trying to track down a bottle that hasn't gone off. So, wearing a reformulation of one of my favorite vintage scents sometimes requires me to like close my eyes and really like activate my memory receptors. And I really enjoy doing that. I feel like it helps keep my mind sharp and active. That's something I think a lot about as I'm getting older, doing things that are like good for my synapses, word puzzles, visual puzzles, reading, writing, making these videos, and using scent as a way of activating my memory. I don't know if there's anything scientific behind that, but I just feel like the more I exercise my brain, the better I feel. Just like the more I exercise my body, the better I feel. So it takes more concentration with this version of Halston to bring back the memory of the original scent that I have so deeply embedded in my brain. But if I close my eyes, I inhale deeply, and I place myself squarely in the mid to late 70s, I can get all of that warm, round, soft, ambery sweetness that made the original version of this green floral chypre with hints of peach just so incredibly special. This perfume is like core scent memory for me, and I absolutely adore it. So, since I'm in my lipstick phase, I am going to wipe on some Narciso Rouge this week. And I say wipe intentionally because this bottle came to me secondhand and it leaks. And I haven't ordered any plastic syringes yet to like pull the perfume out of the bottle and transfer it into a non-leaking decant. So wipe it on, it shall be. So this is a gorgeous, rich, lipsticky rose iris with that totally recognizable Narciso musk, which smells pillowy and cloud-like and fluffy, but in a sophisticated way. This is one of those perfumes that only needs a spray or two to do the trick. So I'm going to spray this one time and then I'm going to wipe all the leaks all over my clothes when I wear it. And since everything on my tray is pretty heavy right now, I'm going to put one less heavy option on the tray this week. It's Cacharel's Noah. This is such a unique, great perfume. It's sort of like bar soapy and lotiony overall, but it also has some really interesting and unexpected elements to it. It's like a blend of fresh and green, floral, and then sort of like bitter woody because there's a coffee note in this perfume. Not a lot, but just enough to make you go, like, what is that in this perfume? What am I getting here? It's like a perfume with a surprise in the center. And every time you wear it, you don't exactly know what's going to stand out. Could be that little bit of bitterness from the coffee, could be the florals, could be the green, could be the soapiness. This is like a real shapeshifter. It's so much fun to wear. It smells amazing, and it is exceptional quality for the price. And so finally, because I am actually trying to wear my samples, not just look at them, I am putting this sample of Blanc Sada on my tray. Ivette sent this to me recently. Thank you so, so much, Ivette. This is from Bertrand Duchaufour's own perfume line, L'Entrepiste. I love Bertrand Duchaufour. He's the nose behind a good number of perfumes for L'Artisan Parfumeur. He is a true artist of olfaction, and I was really super curious to smell his own lines. So I am very, very grateful to Ivette for sharing a bit of Blanc Sada with me. I haven't worn this yet. I'm going to go right in with this one and give it a good wear test, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to love it. The notes are milk, powder, iris, rice powder, straw, and tatami, which is a traditional Japanese material typically made from rice straw. I am really, really excited to try this one, so I will report back on it next week. So this is my tray for the week. I'm really looking forward to wearing all of these, and to seeing what else might strike my fancy this week and end up on the tray. And I would love to know what you are planning on wearing this week, or what you might be thinking about wearing, or what you've been in the mood for lately. I love to hear about that. So thank you so much for watching, for spending your time here with me, and for chatting perfumes with me in the comments. I hope you have a really great week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.